So today's lesson is on informational writing, and the teaching point I'm focused on is that informational authors create introductions that hook their reader into the text. So in my typical fashion, I didn't have the writing done, and I came into Dr. Tucker, the vice principal's office, and worked on my introduction before school. I made line paper to look like real line paper, and I wrote an introduction that I hoped would be used and serve as a teaching tool to show a variety of things. I also, in my introduction, want to use it for other purposes later on, like revision and doing second drafts. So my first teaching point was authors of informational text create interesting introductions to hook their reader. And because I want to use this teaching point again for multiple purposes to teach a positives among other things, my new teaching point is more complicated and it's more wordy. Writers or authors of informational text craft compelling or interesting introductions in order to entice or hook their readers. We'll see how this goes. So, authors of informational text, this morning I wrote this introduction. I just wanted to take you into it. I'm not going to say much about it. I want to give you about 45 seconds to read my introduction. And while you are reading, I want you to think in your brains, does this make me want to read the rest of the book? Now for more support, I will read it out loud. From the Golden Gate Bridge to the murals in the Mission, from the Presidio to Chinatown, San Francisco has many charms and wonders. Every year, tourists flock to the city by the bay to explore these and other treasures. As amazing as these places are, this isn't the whole story. Have you heard of the Alamu, a Native American tribe of the Ohlone people? They lived on the land of what is in San Francisco today. How about Mexico? Did you know this land used to be part of Mexican territory? In this book, you will learn more about things you know and discover new facts, stories, and histories. So, if you are ready, let's explore. Now give me a thumbs up if you want to read the rest of this book. A thumbs sideways if you're like, okay, maybe. Thumbs down if you just are going to put it on the shelf. Thank you for your honest feedback. Room 127, please bring all your writing materials as well as your lights to the floor. And be here in 15 gentle seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, I was thinking a lot about our informational books that we're working on. And I was thinking of myself as a reader today. And what I thought of was this. When I buy an informational book or I check one out from the library, I usually read the introduction because I know I'm interested in the topic, but I want to know in the introduction if I'm going to like this author's style or this writing. So it made me think about what writers or authors of informational text have to do. And I came to this. Writers or authors of informational texts craft compelling or interesting introductions in order to entice or hook their readers. Now that was a lot to say, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, you try it on. Writers
or authors of informational text craft compelling or interesting introductions in order to entice or hook their readers.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. And that's what I tried in my introduction that I read to you a little bit earlier. My introduction is on the history informational text on San Francisco. And I wanted to hook the reader. I wanted the reader to be excited. So I kind of talked about some things that most people know about the city. What are some things people know about San Francisco? Just popcorn them out. What is something that people know? Golden Gate Bridge. What else? The murals where? What else?
The mission.
And the mission, yeah, what else? What other things do we know about the city? They can be here, they might not be here. Say them, come. What? Yes. Oh, and you got that from my introduction. I was thinking of things like, the Presidio or Chinatown or Golden Gate Park. What I tried myself to do to hook my reader was kind of here. I kind of gave an introduction to my informational text. Then I went here and I said, in this book, you will learn more about things you know and discover new facts, stories, and histories. So, if you're ready, let's explore. You see how that was exactly. Were you hooked? Were you hooked?
Yeah.
Were you enticed?
Yeah.
All right. Now I want you to take a moment, and I want you in this moment, I want you to think for yourself, what are some things I did as a writer that made you want to read my text? When you have an idea, turn on your lights so I can visually see your lights on. Turn them on if you have an idea of some things you think I did. I'm seeing one light go on. This is good feedback for me as a teacher because I'm not seeing any lights go on. Ah, one person. Some things I did and you might be able to talk about. Lights are coming on. I'm seeing them all over the place. All right. When the lights in the classroom go off, I'm going to ask you to turn and talk to someone next to you or about some things that I did in this writing to entice or hook my reader to read my informational text. Could you turn the lights off, please? Could you turn the lights off, please, sweetie? All of them, please. All right, turn and talk.
So, one thing that Mr. Rosemary tried to that very first, people, back in the South, they did a American with a Mexican, and there's told us how our about how, and I liked it when the first is like that made me feel like I had to open the book and start or something. It makes me feel that I should go in the book and start reading after that last sentence.
Should we get the classroom lights back on, please? And I'm going to ask Brandon to share what hooked him. I heard him say one thing that hooked me. Could you share to the class what hooked you? One thing that hooked me was...
One thing that hooked me was the end because I want to explore more things that San Francisco.
And could you use that same kind of thing in your informational text? Yeah. Is there something else that hooked other people besides that end? Something else that hooked people? Could you turn your lights back off? Just for a moment. Now, readers and writers of informational texts, I want you to think in your head, from this, what is something I'm going to try right now in my writing journal for a start of an introduction? What am I going to try? And you know what? When you have the idea, you're going to turn your light on and you're just going to start writing it. You may use this as a resource. I see a light, see two lights. Those people are going to be writing, I can tell. I see more lights going on. I'm doing a time check for me. As a teacher, we're at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Lyndon, could you turn our music on? Hello, reader. I love that. Hello, reader. Great minds think alike. Sweetie's in the back. I should see you starting. You're not. You have to be getting started. You are more than welcome to use this poster to give you some ideas or tips. By the way, while you're writing, is this my final draft?
No.
I'm going to do a lot more work on this draft. I will. To make it more interesting or compelling. Like I might say, from the heights of the Golden Gate Bridge to the colorful and political murals in the Mission, from the beautiful Presidio to Chinatown, full of its rich cultural history and traditions, San Francisco has many charms and wonders. That might be how I revise this sentence. I'm thinking on it. Can we get the lights in the classroom? Let's try all three off quickly and see how it looks. I see one scholar over here, one author who's doing their best. Sweetie, quickly. There's got to be urgency. Thank you. There's got to be urgency. Thank you. I know it's weird to write in this little bit of light, but this is some of the brain research I've done that has indicated that sometimes the more you have to struggle in your mind to see or do something, the more it sticks in your mind. Authors, do remember your goal is to write something that's interesting, enticing. You basically want to sell your book, don't you?
Yes.
You want your reader to say, I can't put this down, I am going to go and pay money for it, I'm going to check it out from the library. Because that's what we do. Thinking of my teaching point, we write, as authors of informational texts, compelling or interesting introductions in order to entice or hook the reader. This is something you can do today as writers and every day going forward, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. When you have something started, why don't you try it on with the person next to you? Try it on. Who's ready to try it on? Okay, try it with your partner. Share. Get going. Be brave. Be bold. Be powerful. And I did it in 10 minutes. But not my goal of 8. So I have something to work on, don't I?
Yes.
Okay, but share.
I feel like I want to.
And this is the end of the lesson. We'll be dismissing in a moment, and you guys are pretty much going to be going back to your tables with your lights to keep working when it's time. We are writing geniuses.
If you don't.
I don't know if they know I'm here.
Some stuff.
I'm listening.
Some soccer